And hello once again, and welcome to another live stream on my channel here as we get set for the Sunday night NFL game this week between the Chiefs and the Giants. Both teams desperate for wins as both teams come into this game 0-2. First of all, let me introduce. My name is John, Sports Bonanza John here on YouTube, also on Kick tonight at Sports Kick John. Also do have content on Twitch at Sport Guru John. Not on Twitch tonight, but I am on YouTube and Kick. If you do like my content on here, would appreciate a like and subscribe. That would really help out a lot and appreciate it. Chiefs and Giants, both teams coming in at 0-2. We will preview this game momentarily, but first, let me start off with a prayer before we start. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day, and thank you for looking over us, Lord, and please keep everyone safe, fans and players alike, and look over us all, Lord. As we do this, in the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Chiefs and Giants, both these teams 0-2. About as close to a must-win in in the week 3 of the season as you can have for both of these teams. Chiefs coming off losses to the Chargers and the Eagles in their first 2 games. Giants' 2 losses are division losses to Washington and the Cowboys last week. So this is, I don't want to say desperate in week 3, but this is 2 teams in dire need of a win, considering the Chiefs, who lost to the Chargers. Chargers are sitting 3-0 in the AFC West as they got a narrow win over the Broncos earlier today. Giants, meanwhile, at 0-2, are chasing the Eagles, of course. The Eagles 3-0. Eagles got a dramatic win over the Rams earlier today. So if you whoever falls this game and falls to 0-3 is already sitting 3 games back in their respective division. As, of course, the Giants, the new quarterback for the Giants, Russell Wilson, for the Giants. As we get ready for this Sunday night game, of course, we'll see Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback of the Chiefs, tonight. In the final game of this Sunday in the NFL, we do, of course, have a Monday night game tomorrow night, the Lions and the Ravens. I will be live streaming that as well tomorrow night. Biggest surprise probably in the NFL in the afternoon window was probably the game in Cleveland between the Packers and the Browns. Packers had a chance to go ahead, but they had a field goal blocked, and then Cleveland marched down and kicked a game-winning field goal, and the Browns shocked the Packers earlier today, 13-10. Possibly another surprise, not so much the Vikings won by, but how did they just annihilated the Cincinnati Bengals earlier today, 48-10. And another bit of a surprise was the game in Carolina. The Falcons, who looked great last Sunday night in Minnesota, just absolutely laid an egg in Charlotte today as the Panthers beat the Falcons 30-0 earlier today. And the late games that just completed about an hour or so ago was the Chargers going to 3-0. They got the late field goal and beat the Broncos 23-20. Seahawks blew out the Saints in Seattle 44-13. 49ers got a field goal at the gun to beat the Cardinals 16-15. And the Bears just shellacked the Cowboys earlier today in Chicago 31-14. Those are the late afternoon finals. Of course, we got this game tonight and the Lions and Ravens tomorrow night to wrap up week number 3 of the NFL season. As we get set to kick this one off from MetLife Stadium. It wasn't MetLife Stadium. This the 20th anniversary season of Sunday Night Football on NBC. The Giants, the first ever Sunday night NBC game. That was the Manning Bowl between Peyton Manning and Eli Manning 20 years ago. Giants weren't playing at MetLife yet. They were still playing at Giant Stadium, which is now the parking lot for MetLife Stadium. As we get set to go on a Sunday night in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 63-degree evening at MetLife Stadium. As both teams trying to get out of this early season funk and get going. Before we begin, I do want to point out one thing for any new viewers on the live stream. My YouTube TV does have a built-in delay, and so my call is going to be a little bit behind the live action. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about that. If you're a regular viewer on my channel, you know that, but any new viewers, I do try to point that out beforehand. No way wondering, why is there a lag? Well, that's why. All right, so the Chiefs and the Giants set to begin. Coaching matchup tonight, of course, Andy Reid, veteran head coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, and Brian Daboll over at the helm of the New York Giants. As there's about a mixture of Chiefs and Giants fans in the stands tonight. Of course, Chiefs fans travel very, very well with all the success they've had over the years. So expected there to be a lot of red in the stands tonight, and there certainly is. And again, the winner of this game gets in the win column for the first time, but the loser of this game, whoever it's going to be, is going to fall to 0-3, and they're going to be 3 games out in their respective division already in week 3. As Brandon Jacobs is on the field getting the Giants crowd fired up right before kickoff of this one. Of course, Brandon Jacobs had a great career with the New York Giants. This is the home opener for the New York Giants. Had those 2 division losses both on the road to begin the season. So the Chiefs are going to kick this off. The Giants are going to receive the football first. Harrison Butker to kick this off. And we are set to go on a Sunday night in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Butker runs up and the kick, and we're underway. And this kick fielded at the 9-yard line across the 10, 15, 20-yard line. This is Devin Singletary on the return, and Singletary crosses the 30 up to the 31-yard line, and that's where the Giants will start this opening drive. And out comes Russell Wilson and the New York Giants offense, as they have decent starting field position at their own 31-yard line to begin this game. First down and 10 for the Giants. Football sitting at the 31-yard line. They have 5 on the play clock. Wilson needs to get the snap off, and he does with 1 on the play clock, and this is a handoff on first down going next to nowhere on first down, maybe a yard, but it'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Giants. It's Tyrone Tracy that got the carry there. Second down, Giants at the 32. Opening possession of the football game. Wilson takes the snap. And again, it's another handoff to Tracy. Tracy, a bigger hole this time. He's got first down yardage across the 40 up to the 42-yard line. 10 yards this time for Tracy and a Giants first down. So the Giants go to Tyrone Tracy on the ground on the first 2 plays of this game. And he has picked up 11 yards so far. Giants now at the 42, 1st and 10. Wilson to throw this time for the first time, and throws over the middle and throws to Tracy. And Tracy's going to be brought down at the 46-yard line. So give Tracy 4 yards on that short pass, bringing up 2nd down and 6. So the Giants on 3 plays have marched the ball near midfield on this first offensive possession of the game. At the 46, 2nd down and 6. Wilson. Again, it's a handoff to Tracy, and Tracy gets another first down into Chiefs territory up to the 47-yard line. It's been the Tyrone Tracy show on this opening drive for the Giants. First down, Giants up to the 47-yard line of the Chiefs. And again, it's Tracy getting the carry. This time he's stopped after a gain of maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Giants. Nearly 3 minutes into this first quarter. Second down, Giants need 9. Football sits at the 46-yard line of the Chiefs. Wilson takes the snap. And again, it's a handoff. This time, it's not Tracy this time. But it's a good gainer for another Giants first down. Inside the 35-yard line. Cam Scatabo this time with the carry for the Giants. And another Giants first down as they are marching down the field on this opening drive of the game. Giants have a first down as Giants have rushed for 30 yards on the ground on this opening drive. They're at the 35-yard line. Wilson, here's another handoff. This is Scatabo again, and this time he's going to be hit for a loss on the play. That's going to be a loss of a couple yards. Chiefs defense there that time. And a loss of 2 for Scatabo on first down to be 2nd down and 12. Second down. Football back just inside the 37. Wilson's only thrown 1 pass on this first drive. He's going to throw this time. Over the middle, pass caught by Scatabo, and Scatabo up to the 32-yard line. That will set up 3rd down and 7 for the Giants. Third down, Giants need 7 to keep the drive alive, as they have held the ball for over 5 minutes on this opening drive. Tracy back in the backfield as the running back on 3rd down and 7, and it is a give to Tracy, and Tracy will get up to the 33-yard line for a gain of 4, but he's still going to be 3 yards short of a first down. Or excuse me, to the 28-yard line, I beg your pardon. And let's see what the Giants do on 4th down. They need a full 3 yards on 4th down, so I would guess they're probably going to bring on the field goal kicker here, although Wilson's still out on the field. Giants showing they're going to go for this, or they're lined up like they're going to go for this on 4th and 3, unless this is just, nope, they snap it. Wilson throws, batted down at the line of scrimmage, and a nearly 6-minute drive stalls out inside the 30 for the Giants as they turn it over on downs. Boy, this early in the game, you may just want to kick the field goal right there and take the points, but the Giants roll the dice, and they come up empty, and the 4th down pass was batted down for Russell Wilson, and the Giants come up empty. Linebacker Nick Bolton, the one that got his hands up to knock down that pass from Russell Wilson, and we will see the Chiefs offense for the first time with 9:06 remaining in the first quarter. So the Giants drive the football on that first drive. They pick up 41 yards, but the drive stalls as the Giants went for it early on 4th down and come up empty. Looking at some other scores from today in the early session, mentioned that Vikings blowout of the Bengals, 48-10 today. Pittsburgh goes into Foxborough and beats the Patriots 21-14. The Colts move to 3-0 as they go into Nashville and handle the Titans 41-20. Jacksonville drops the Houston Texans to 0-3. That's a little bit of a surprise as the Jaguars win that game 17-10. Mentioned that Panthers 30-0 shutout of the Falcons. Eagles 33-26 over the Rams. Rams in that game were setting up for a game-winning field goal, which got blocked, and then the Eagles ran it back for 6 points for that 7-point margin. Buccaneers kick a field goal at the gun to beat the Jets 29-27. A lot of last-second field goals today. Washington, no problem with the Raiders today, 41-24. Mentioned that Browns 13-10 victory over the Packers, probably the stunner of the day so far. Browns scored 10 points in about a 37-second span in the fourth quarter in that game. Come back from 10-0 down to tie it. And then, as I mentioned, the Packers had a chance to kick what would be a go-ahead field goal. It got blocked. The Browns drove down the field and got the game-winning field goal. And here it is 0-0 after the Giants' drive stalled out at the 28-yard line. And Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' offense will come up for the first time. 9:06 remaining in the opening quarter. Mahomes takes his first snap. Rolling to his left. Mahomes got out of a sack and then will run it out of bounds around the 32-yard line. So Mahomes picks up 4 yards on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 6. He was being pressured. Was able to get out of the sack and pick up 4 yards. Second down for the Chiefs. They need 6. They are at the 32. Mahomes fakes the handoff. Now he's going to throw a screen pass left side and up to the 35-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and 3 for the Chiefs. That Isaiah Pacheco with the catch there for 3 yards. Chiefs need 3 yards on this 3rd down. Ball sitting at the 35-yard line. First offensive series of the game for the Chiefs. Mahomes on 3rd down and 3 takes the snap. Mahomes to throw. Pass caught. First down Chiefs across the 40 up to the 42-yard line. That's the 3rd down conversion for Kansas City and the catch for Juju Smith-Schuster for 7 yards and a first down. Chiefs move the ball up to the 42. And a new set of downs. Mahomes takes the snap. It's a handoff, and this will be good for about 3 yards on first down. The carry for Kareem Hunt. Second down and 7. Second down, 7, Chiefs, football at the 45. Mahomes takes the snap. Mahomes to throw again. Mahomes throwing over the middle. Pass is caught. That's a reception. There is a flag on the play. So we'll check the flag. It was Noah Gray with the catch, but it's coming back. Land Clark, the referee tonight, and it's going to be a hold on Kansas City, so nullify the first down catch. Josh Simmons guilty of the hold. So now 2nd and 17. Back at the 35. 6:10 and counting remaining in the first quarter. Mahomes takes the snap. Mahomes passes caught for Juju Smith-Schuster again. He's across the 45, still on his feet across the 50. That's a first down for Juju Smith-Schuster up to the 47, 18 yards and a Chiefs first down. On 2nd and 17, the reception for 18 yards, and the Chiefs move the football into Giants territory. At the 47. In a very fast-moving first quarter, we're down to 5.5 minutes. Mahomes throwing deep right side, has a receiver out of bounds, however. Catch was made there by Tyquan Thornton, but he was well out of bounds. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Second and 10, Kansas City from the Giants 47. Mahomes takes the snap. Short pass left side. That will be a catch and out of bounds at the 39-yard line. That'll be an 8-yard reception, bringing up 3rd down and 2. Hollywood Brown with the catch there. And 3rd and short coming up. Third down and 2. Football for the Chiefs at the 39 of the Giants. Trying to keep this drive going. Mahomes, there's a handoff on 3rd down, and this is going to be a first down. A pickup of 3 yards and move the chains once again as Kareem Hunt gets the first down run. So 2 third down conversions on this drive for the Chiefs, and they have drove the ball down to the 36-yard line of the Giants, just outside the 36. Mahomes looking, Mahomes still looking, throwing over the middle behind Travis Kelce, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Clock stopped with 4 minutes exactly to play in this first quarter. Second and 10, Kansas City. Mahomes takes the snap. Mahomes throwing left side and incomplete. Again, intended for Kelce. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Kelce covered well that time. That was Tyler Nubin that was hanging right with Kelce. 3rd down and 10 from the just outside the 36-yard line, and a timeout called on defense by the Giants with 3:54 remaining in the first quarter. The Chiefs will have a 3rd down and 10 to try to keep the drive alive. Giants calling the timeout on defense, making sure they're on the same page there. So this first quarter has just flown by. This will be the 11th play of the Kansas City drive coming up. Drive that started at their own 28-yard line. They've moved the ball up to the 36 of the Giants, and it's 3rd down and 10 following off the timeout. Mahomes takes the snap. Mahomes looking, Mahomes throwing, incomplete off the hands of the intended receiver, Hollywood Brown. It's 4th down, and the Chiefs will have to settle for a field goal try. So the Chiefs' drive stalls out at the 36. This is going to be a field goal attempt of about 53 yards for Harrison Butker. Officially from 54 to put the Chiefs in front. Snap is good, kick is up, and the kick is off the upright and through. So the Chiefs get 3 as the field goal doinked off the left upright and trickled through. Chiefs strike first. 3-0 over the Giants. Officially a 54-yard field goal for Harrison Butker. That drive for the Chiefs, 12 plays, 36 yards, 5 minutes, 21 seconds, a Harrison Butker 54-yard field goal to put the Chiefs ahead 3-0. So both teams have had an offensive possession that stalled out. Chiefs settled for a field goal. Giants went for it on 4th down on their drive. Again, and for the Chiefs, Xavier Worthy out again tonight with that shoulder injury. As the Chiefs strike first in this one, leading 3-0. Doesn't get any easier for the Chiefs next week. That's why they can't afford to go 0-3. They host the Ravens next week back at home. So that's not going to be an easy one either. Giants remain at home next week. Doesn't get any easier for them as they host the 3-0 Los Angeles Chargers at MetLife next week. So it doesn't get any easier for these two teams next week. We have our first NFL international game coming up next week on the NFL schedule. Game will be in Dublin, Ireland. Game will feature the Vikings and the Steelers. Both those teams sitting at 2-1 as the international games get underway in the NFL next week. Here it is 3-0 Chiefs. The Giants were about to get their second offensive possession of the game. As the Chiefs going to kick this one away. After the field goal that gives them an early 3-0 lead with 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Here's the kickoff. And taken at the 3, across the 10, 15, 20-yard line, 25-yard line, 30-yard. Good return up to the 36-yard line. Devin Singletary with the return of 33 yards. And the Giants will have decent starting field position again this time for their second drive of the game. So the Giants moved the football down the field on their first drive, but elected to roll the dice and go for it early on 4th down and failed instead of taking the field goal attempt. The second drive starts at the 36. Wilson. Pass is caught, and that's near first down yardage, a gain of right at 10 yards. Reception to the wide receiver, Darius Slayton. So I mark him a yard short at just outside the 45-yard line, be second and a yard. Second and a yard for the Giants. Wilson, and this will be a handoff to Tracy. Tracy will get the first down up to the 49-yard line. Tracy picks up 3 yards, and that will move the sticks for the Giants. .240 and counting remaining in this first quarter. First down at the 49. Wilson takes the snap, and it's another handoff. This is Tracy again getting into Chiefs territory and getting stopped around the 48, 49-yard line. Tracy getting a lot of the work here early for the Giants. He gave Tracy 2 yards on that first down, so it'll be second down and 8. Second down, 8 Giants. Football on the Chiefs side of the field at the 49-yard line. Wilson takes the shotgun snap. Wilson throws a screen pass left side. That's Tracy, and Tracy gets bumped out of bounds at the 46 and took a shot on the sideline, and he's still down. He took a pretty good hit there on the sideline after that 3-yard gain. The training staff attending to Tracy. Injury timeout with 1:34 to go in the first quarter. Man, sure hope Tracy's okay. Like I said, that was a pretty good hit he took on the sideline there. It will be third down and 5 for the Giants when play resumes following the injury timeout. We've already seen Cam Scatabo, the rookie out of Arizona State, getting a couple plays in. Also have Devin Singletary at running back as well on the depth chart. So we'll hopefully see that this is not a serious injury to Tracy. Giants starting off the season with 2 division losses, so this is their first home game. As I mentioned at the outset, loser of this game will drop to 0-3 and already 3 games back in their respective divisions. Because you got 3-0 team in both the AFC West and the NFC East. As it looks like play is getting set to resume here shortly. As Tracy is walking off. It looks like he's favoring that right shoulder. That's where he got hit. There on the sideline. Cam Scatabo coming in at the running back position. So it'll be third down and 5 for the Giants. And the football's at the 46 of the Chiefs. Wilson on 3rd and 5. High snap. Wilson gets the pass off to Scatabo, and he's going to be hit behind the line and dropped on the short pass. That's going to be a loss of 2, and the Giants are going to have to punt this football away on 4th down. High snap may have thrown off the timing just a bit on that short pass. And Scatabo was brought down for a 2-yard loss. Giants offense staying out again on 4th down and 6. We're giving the Chiefs excellent field position if they do actually go for this. And this time they are not going to snap it. This is just an attempt to try to get 5 yards. Unsuccessful. And the Giants will take the delay of game and now will for sure punt the ball. So that was just an attempt to try to get 5 free yards to make it 4th and 1, but the Chiefs defense didn't bite. Brian Daboll not happy. Yeah, it looked like they missed a face mask on the Chiefs on that last 3rd down play. So he definitely has a right to be upset. That was a clear face mask. But it wasn't called, and the Giants have to punt this ball now. Punt is away. And that punt will bounce at the 13, takes a little bit of a Chiefs bounce, and will be downed around the 18-yard line with 11 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Brian Daboll is still very upset on the Giants sideline about that non-face mask call. I'm sure that's what he's upset about. They showed the replay, and it was pretty clear. But nonetheless, the Chiefs will start this next drive at the 18-yard line. And what should be the final play of this first quarter, which has 11 seconds left in it. And a 63-degree evening in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Football marked at the 19-yard line, 1st down for the Chiefs. And this is a handoff on 1st down. This is Kareem Hunt getting up to the 22-yard line, which will bring a first quarter to a close. A first quarter that saw only 3 points scored, a field goal by the Chiefs. And after one, the Chiefs lead the Giants 3-0 from MetLife. Stats through one quarter look this way. 58 yards of offense for the Giants, 49 for the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, 4 for 8 passing in that first quarter for 36 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster, the leading receiver in that quarter for the Chiefs, 2 catches, 25 yards. Only 13 yards rushing for the Chiefs in that quarter. Didn't get much going in the ground game. Meanwhile, Russell Wilson, 5 for 6 passing the football for 19 yards in the first quarter. Giants got 39 yards on the ground. Tracy with 29 of those on 7 carries. We'll check the injury on him, though. See how serious that injury is to Tracy. The Chiefs, 2 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They converted their first 2 third downs to keep that drive alive that led to the field goal. Only 1 penalty in that first quarter. There was a holding penalty. Time of possession, Giants held the ball for 9 minutes, 28 seconds in that first quarter, compared to the Chiefs' 5 minutes, 32 seconds. So a big time of possession advantage for the Giants in that first quarter. Neither team turned it over. And that leads to a 3-0 lead for the Chiefs after one in this week 3 of Sunday Night Football. And again, I want to update my upcoming live stream schedule coming up. We'll be back with you on the live stream tomorrow night for the Lions and Ravens Monday Night Football matchup. And then this is not official yet, but I hope to be on with you Tuesday night. That will be a Major League Baseball live stream as Major League Baseball heads into its final week of the regular season. That will be a game between the Mets and the Cubs. Again, that is not set in stone yet. I do still have a full-time job, so it's going to depend on my work schedule, but hope to be with you for a couple baseball live streams this week. Second quarter commencing here. 2nd down and 7 for the Chiefs. Mahomes, being pressured, gets rid of it on the screen to Kareem Hunt. Hunt is brought down at the 30-yard line on 2nd down and 7. He picks up 8 and gets the Chiefs a first down. Mahomes now 5 for 9 for 46 yards. And the Chiefs keep the drive alive here, move the football to the 32. Mahomes under center this time. Looking back and throws a little screen pass. Incomplete. Tried to get it to Pacheco. It'll be 2nd down and 10. That was a little screen pass to Pacheco. Pacheco was already kneeling down on the turf. That was almost a lateral. I think it did go forward a little bit, but now, did the Giants just throw the challenge flag? That was very close to being a lateral instead of and actually, the one angle looked like the ball might have been going forward, but this other angle from the other sideline, Mahomes threw it from the just shy of the 34-yard line. Pacheco, looks like his knee is down right at the 34-yard line. So the Giants are challenging this, thinking that was a lateral. It's close. It is going to replay. It is very, very close, but I think this play is probably going to stand as an incomplete pass, because on the one angle, it looked like Mahomes released the ball just shy of the 34. He got it to Pacheco, and his knee was down, and it looked like he was pretty much right at the 34-yard line. The other angle on the other sideline was a little bit iffy. But I think it was going forward, the pass, but barely. So I think this is going to stand. But we'll see what the officials come up with after the challenge from Brian Daboll. Now, Brian Daboll used a timeout on defense earlier in the first quarter, so if he loses this challenge, he'll be down to one timeout for the remainder of the first half. Again, Monday Night Football tomorrow night, Lions and Ravens, and then Week 4 will begin on Thursday. Seahawks and Cardinals. That's two 2-1 teams that will face off on Thursday. Both those teams trailing the 49ers, who are off to a 3-0 start in the NFC West. So the review still ongoing here. As I said, I think this is probably going to stand as an incomplete pass. And actually, even if it is called a lateral, I didn't see the play long enough to see if there was actually a clear recovery either. And they actually have called this a lateral and a backward pass. So they're going to spot this football at where Pacheco was down. That's the 24-yard line. So this is going to be a loss of 8 yards. So a successful challenge for Brian Daboll. Second down, Mahomes on 2nd and 18, throwing over the middle, pass complete. There is a flag, however, pass complete to Noah Gray, but we'll check the flag. This looks like it might be against the Giants and will give the Chiefs a first down. Illegal contact on the Giants, so that gives the Chiefs a free first down on the defensive penalty. Illegal contact called against Drew Phillips. That's a costly penalty. The Chiefs were backed up at 2nd and 18, but now that 5-yard penalty carries an automatic first down. Up at the 29. It's a direct handoff on first down, and this is going to be a considerable gain of about 8 yards. Carry that time for Nico Remigio. Second-year player out of Fresno State getting that carry for another first down. Right at the 40. Mahomes dropping back. Mahomes in a little bit of trouble. Mahomes gets out of it. Throws right side to an open receiver. Inside the 40, 35, 34-yard line. Completion to Juju Smith-Schuster for 26 yards and a Chiefs first down. Mahomes was being pressured there. Somehow got out of the sack and found the wide open Juju Smith-Schuster downfield. And the Chiefs have moved the football to the Giants' 34. Mahomes up to 73 yards passing now on 6 for 10. And he's going to throw again. Mahomes will have to run it and will go out of bounds after a minimal gain of a yard, maybe 2. Nowhere for Mahomes to go downfield that time, so he'd just get what he could. It'll be second down. Give him a yard on that at the 30 to the 32, so it's 2nd and 9. This is about the spot of the field where the Chiefs drove to on their first drive and had to settle for a field goal. 2nd and 9. Mahomes to throw again, and the pass is short. And it's a completion, but behind the line. Completion to Noah Gray, but it's a 4-yard loss. Mahomes got it to Noah Gray. But it'll be 3rd down and 12 following the loss on the play. Chiefs need 12 on this 3rd down to keep the drive alive. Football sits at the Giants' 35-yard line. 11 minutes and counting to play quarter number 2. Mahomes looking. Mahomes, there's a flag down. Mahomes is going to run for the first down, but we'll see what the flag is as Mahomes gets to the 20-yard line. Gain of 15, but it looks like it's coming back. Illegal formation on the Chiefs, so that's going to make it 3rd and 17 now. That will move the football back to the 40, so they are almost out of field goal range here. It's now 3rd down and 17 from the 40. Mahomes takes the snap. Mahomes throwing over the middle, pass complete to Gray, but well short of the first down as Gray dives up just shy of the 30-yard line, and the Chiefs will have to settle for another field goal attempt. So once again, the drive stalls. Butker hit from 54 before. This is going to be from 48, I believe. Yes, 48 yards. Clanked the first one off the upright. And it went through. Butker's kick on the way, and this one is right down the middle. 3 more for the Chiefs, and that gives them now a lead of 6-0 with 9:48 to go in quarter number 2. Drive for the Chiefs this time, 9 plays, 51 yards, 5 minutes, 23 seconds. But again, just have to settle for a Harrison Butker 48-yard field goal. And now a 6-0 lead for Kansas City. So Patrick Mahomes, 8 of 12, passing the football for 80 yards. 3 of those receptions to Juju Smith-Schuster. He had the big 26-yard reception that kept the drive alive. So let's see if the Giants offense can get going here. They've moved the ball downfield fairly well their first couple series, but just has not gotten anything on the scoreboard to show for it yet. But still, the Giants defense has stepped up and has stalled 2 Kansas City drives. And the Chiefs have only been able to come up with 2 field goals so far. And a 6-0 lead. Looking at the NFL schedule next week, some of the bigger games on tap next week. And that Seahawks-Cardinals game on Thursday night. Winner of that game goes to 3-1. Again, the Dublin, Ireland game, the Vikings and the Steelers, both those teams at 2-1 on the season. Chargers come into MetLife next week to play the Giants. Chargers look to go 4-0. Chargers possibly looking like the best team in the AFC right now. Matchup of 3-0 teams on the 1 o'clock window next week. Eagles and Buccaneers. That game will be in Tampa. So a big matchup there. Other undefeated teams in action next week. The Colts, they head out west to take on the Rams next week. 49ers host the surprising 2-1 Jacksonville Jaguars right now. As we are just about to resume here with the kickoff following the second Chiefs field goal of the game. .948 remaining in quarter number 2. And the kickoff taken at the 7. Across the 10, 15, 20-yard line. This is Singletary again on the return, and Singletary gets up to the 26-yard line. And that's where the Giants will start drive number 3. Worst starting field position of the 3 drives so far for the Giants, as this one will start at their own 26. First down, Giants. Wilson fakes the handoff. Wilson throwing deep down the field, and that may have been hit. Wilson's arm may have been hit as that pass is incomplete. Wilson's arm may have been hit when he was going to release that ball. Be 2nd down and 10. Yeah, it was. Making the play there for the Chiefs that hit Russell Wilson's arm when he was going to release that ball was Jalen Watson, 4th-year cornerback out of Washington State. 2nd and 10, football at the 26. And this is a handoff to Singletary, who's in here at running back, and he will get a couple up to the 28, setting up a 3rd and long situation for the Giants. Still haven't gotten the status on Tracy, who injured himself on that running play. Going to the sideline. Okay, and right as I say that, his return is questionable with that shoulder injury. 3rd down 7. Russell Wilson going deep down the field, and it's picked off. Intercepted by the Chiefs across the 45-50 into Giants territory and out of bounds. Wilson threw into a little bit of double coverage there, and the Chiefs were there to pick it off. Chris Roland Wallace with the interception for Kansas City. 3rd-year cornerback out of USC with the pick, and the Giants turn it over. Wilson did have Wan'Dale Robinson down there, but it was double coverage there as there were 2 Chiefs defenders down there, and it ends up an interception. Looks like we have an injured player on the interception here, so another stoppage here for an injury with 8:56 to go in the 2nd quarter. That's risky throw by Russell Wilson, and it backfired, resulting in an interception. So the Chiefs will get it right back, trying to add to their 6-0 lead. The Giants took the ball, or got the ball to start the game. The Chiefs are going to have the football to start the 2nd half. Chiefs may be thinking a 2-for-1 opportunity here. Get some points before the first half expires, and they've got excellent field position here as they're starting on the plus side of the field after the interception. Going back to looking at some of the games for next week, of course, I mentioned the Chiefs hosting the Ravens. That's the featured late afternoon game next week. And the Sunday night game next week is a intriguing one. The Packers and the Cowboys. Micah Parsons returning to Dallas after getting sent to Green Bay right before the season started. And then 2 Monday night games once again next week, a Monday night doubleheader. That's not really a doubleheader. They start an hour apart. Jets and Dolphins, that both teams looking for their first win there. And the Bengals and the Broncos. Broncos lost a tough one to the Chargers today. Bengals got walloped in Minneapolis by the Vikings. So back here following the interception, the Chiefs starting this drive in Giants territory. Looking to add to their 6-0 lead. This drive will start at the 47 of the Giants. Mahomes Delayed handoff, and it's a good run on first down, gain of close to 9 yards for Isaiah Pacheco, and it'll bring up second down and short for Kansas City. Football sitting inside the Giants' 40-yard line. Mahomes throwing left side, open receiver, first down, out of bounds. And that will move the sticks for Kansas City. Reception for Tyquan Thornton. As we go under 8 minutes and counting here in the second quarter. First down from the Giants' 32. Mahomes, here's another handoff to Pacheco, and Pacheco up inside the 30 to the 26. Give Pacheco about 7 more. Chiefs trying to take advantage of this excellent field position following the interception. Second down and call it 4, closer to about 3.5, but call it 4. Mahomes looking right side. There's Kelce, or his first reception of the game, up to the 20-yard line and a first down for Kansas City. Third time Kelce's been targeted, and that's his first reception of the game. And this is the first time today either team has made it into the red zone. First down, Chiefs. Mahomes. Right side, a little overthrown and incomplete. Be second down and 10. Pass intended for Brashard Smith. But Mahomes overshot him a little bit. Second down and 10. Second and 10 for the Chiefs at the 20. Clock stops, 6:17 remaining in quarter number 2. Mahomes. Giants bringing pressure. It's a screen pass to Noah Gray, and Gray's going to be, I'm sorry, that's Kelce, and he's going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a 3-yard loss. Back at the 23, Giants defense were bringing pressure there. And Mahomes found Kelce, but it's a 3-yard loss, setting up third and long. Third down and 13. Football at the 23-yard line. Chiefs so far 2 for 4 on third down conversions in the game. Mahomes looking over the middle, incomplete. The pass was juggled and then incomplete. Intended for Juju Smith-Schuster, and once again, the Chiefs are going to have to settle for a field goal attempt. So back comes Butker for a field goal attempt of what's going to be 40 yards. He's hit from 54 and 48 in the game. And his 40-yarder is up, and it is no good. He hooked it. He hooked it right. And the game stays 6-0. And the Chiefs come up empty on this drive. Snap looked pretty good. Butker just hooked it. And it stays 6-0. 5:24 remaining in the second quarter. So the Giants get a break right there. And the Chiefs end up empty off the interception. Giants have been held to 61 yards total in the first half by this Kansas City defense. Chiefs are at 130. Mahomes 11 of 17 for 91 yards. Russell Wilson's only passed for 19 yards in the half, 5 for 8 for 19 yards, and does have the one pick. Giants have rushed for 42. Tracy still the leading rusher for 29 yards, but again, he's questionable to return with that shoulder injury he suffered on that hit going to the sideline. That was back in the first quarter. So it's been a mix of Cam Skattebo and Devin Singletary at the running back spot. Giants defense is keeping them in this football game right now, as the Giants have held the Chiefs out of the end zone in the first half. Now the Giants just need to find some offense. They've moved the ball okay. They moved the ball okay on their first couple drives. And then Wilson threw the pick on the last offensive series. So we'll see on their fourth offensive series of the game what the Giants can do if they can get a good drive. It'll be Giants first down at the 30-yard line when play resumes following the timeout. I do want to mention at the half, I will be briefly pausing the live stream for about 10 minutes. We'll be back right before the start of the second half, run down some first half stats, and get you ready for half number 2. But there will be a brief live stream pause for about 10 minutes during the halftime break. Here it's 5:24 to go, second quarter, first down. And Wilson the handoff to Cam Skattebo, and Skattebo across the 30 up to the 37-yard line. That's a good pickup of 7 yards on first down. Boy, during that last break, Andy Reid and Travis Kelce having a couple words. That happened last year a couple times as well. Skattebo gets another run here on second down. He's got a first down across the 45 up to the 48-yard line. Gives Skattebo 11 yards and a Giants first down. So the bulk of the Giants offense here in the first half has been in the running game. Cam Skattebo stepped in here for Tracy and has picked up 18 yards so far on this drive. Cam Skattebo, rookie out of Arizona State, selected in the 4th round of this year's NFL draft. Wilson throwing, pass complete into Chiefs territory up to the 48-yard line. Gain of 4 yards there. Reception made by Darius Slayton. Second down and 6. Football sits at the 48-yard line of the Chiefs. Giants down 6-0. And here's another handoff to Skattebo on second down. He's going to be dropped in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. That time the Chiefs were right there defensively, and it'll bring up now 3rd and 8 from the 50. Third down and 8 for the Giants. Football rests right at midfield. Giants have yet to pick up a third down conversion yet. They're 0 for 3. Clock under 3 minutes for the first half. Wilson on 3rd and 8. Wilson throws a little dump off to Scatabo, and that's going to be a first down. A late flag comes in as Scatabo gets to the 34-yard line. That's a 16-yard pickup on 3rd and 8, but we'll check the flag. It came in very late, right towards the end of the play. And the officials are still discussing. Illegal contact against the Chiefs. That'll be declined, so the Giants will take the play. That 16-yard pickup, and the Giants are inside the Chiefs' 35. Boy, Russell Wilson looked like he was about to get sacked on that last play, and just at the last moment found an open Scatabo for 16 yards. First down at the 34. Play clock down to 4. Wilson gets the snap off, and this is a handoff this time to Singletary, and he'll get held for a yard gain, and that will probably take this to the 2-minute warning. And it will. 2 minutes to play in the first half at MetLife Stadium. Chiefs leading 6-0, but the Giants are driving. They have driven down to the Chiefs' 33-yard line, trying to finish this off with some points right before the half. In a first-half defensive struggle. Just 2 field goals on the board to this point. As I was mentioning before, I don't think I got finished updating my live stream schedule for the week again tomorrow. I will be on for the Lions-Ravens Monday night game, and then hope to have at least 2 Major League Baseball games this week. That's still up in the air. That would be on Tuesday and Wednesday, the Mets and the Cubs. Major League Baseball entering its final week of the regular season, and the Mets still in a battle in the National League wildcard picture. Cubs have already clinched a playoff spot, but the Mets still in a battle with a couple teams for that final wildcard spot in the National League. So it would be 2 Mets-Cubs games this week. That's pending. And then we'll have 2 college football games on the live stream for you on Saturday. Always do 1 FBS and 1 FCS matchup on Saturday. On Saturdays on my live stream, I will announce what those 2 college football games are going to be. I will announce that tomorrow during the Lions-Ravens live stream. I will mention the 2 college football games I'll have on Saturday during that game tomorrow. And then, of course, we'll be on with you next Sunday night as well for that Packers-Cowboys matchup, the Micah Parsons return to Dallas. See what kind of reception he gets going back there to AT&T Stadium. Cowboys are kind of up against it right now as they come in. They're going to come into that game with a 1-2 record. The Packers, possibly the most puzzling loss of the day, that loss to the Browns in Cleveland. So that's the upcoming live stream schedule this week on my page here. But back in this one, 2 minutes to go in the first half. It is a 6-0 lead for the Chiefs, but the Giants are driving. They have moved the football to the 33-yard line of the Chiefs, trying to at least get 3 points out of this before the halftime break. Chiefs have all 3 timeouts left. Giants have 2 remaining. Second down and 9. Wilson takes the snap. Wilson looking to throw. It's a screen pass to Scatabo, and it's incomplete. And it'll be 3rd down and 9. That'll stop the clock at 1:54. Scatabo almost came up with that. The pass was way in front of him. 3rd down and 9. They've reset the clock to 1:57. I thought that was an awful long 6 seconds. Or an awful quick 6 seconds. Wilson to throw on 3rd down. Nobody home. Incomplete. There is a flag, however. And Wilson's getting up. I wonder if this is going to be roughing. As Wilson was just getting up. And it is going to be a roughing the passer call on the Chiefs. So that'll cost the Chiefs 15. And that will move the football inside the 20. Oh, yeah, clearly a late hit. Wilson had released the ball, and then George Karlaftis came in and delivered a blow. 3rd penalty of the half on the Chiefs. This one could be a very costly one as this moves the football into the red zone. First down at the 18. This is a handoff to Scatabo, and that's going nowhere on 1st down. And we have another flag that comes in. There's a little bit of chippiness after the play. I don't know if that's what this flag is, but it looks like it's against Kansas City again. It's defensive holding, so Chiefs kind of coming a little undisciplined here. Chris Jones called for that defensive hold, the veteran. And that will give the Giants 5 more yards, as that will move it to the 13-yard line. So the Chiefs have just gifted the Giants 20 yards on these last 2 plays on penalties. Very important for the Giants to take advantage of this. This is a handoff. Scatabo up the middle. Scatabo and drives to the end zone. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Giants. Cam Scatabo from 13 yards out. And the Giants can take the lead with the extra point with 1:44 to play until the halftime break. Oh, yeah, ball clearly across before his knee hit. So 2 costly defensive penalties against the Chiefs on this drive. And the Giants get the game's first touchdown. Extra point try is blocked. The extra point is blocked, so this game stays tied at 6 with 1:44 remaining in the second quarter. But Cam Scatabo from 13 yards out gets the Giants on the board and evens this game up. Now the Chiefs will get the football back, and they'll also get the football to start the second half. And the Chiefs do have all 3 timeouts. It's now 39 yards rushing on 6 carries for Scatabo here in the first half with that 1 touchdown. Brand new ball game now as the Giants have evened things up. Looking at some other news around the sports world outside the NFL today. Talking about Major League Baseball, I was going to have a try to have a couple Major League Baseball live streams this week. Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh hit home run number 58 today for the Mariners, as the Mariners are looking for a playoff push. They're also leading big in Houston, 7-2 in the 8th inning. Mariners trying to not only get a playoff spot, they're trying to take that AL West title, something that the Astros have just been dominating over the last few years. The WNBA playoffs, or the WNBA semifinals, I should say, got underway today. A little bit of a shocker in Las Vegas. The Fever went into Las Vegas and took game one, 89-73 over the Aces. They started out with a 1-game-to-none lead, and Minnesota an 82-69 lead over Phoenix in game one of that series. WNBA playoffs resume with those 2 game twos on Tuesday. That's a couple of sports bits from around the sports world outside the NFL. As we get set for the kickoff here, it is a 6-6 game between the Chiefs and the Giants. Minute 44 remaining in the second quarter. And here's the kickoff. And taken right at the goal line across the 10, 20-yard line and dropped at the 21-yard line. So not very good field position for the Chiefs. Kick return for Brashard Smith, I think is who that was. And the Chiefs will start just across their own 20. Minute 38 and all 3 timeouts for the Chiefs. They mark it at the 22. Mahomes getting pressured. Mahomes incomplete. Intended for Noah Gray, 2nd and 10. There's a lot of pressure as the Giants brought the blitz. And Mahomes had to get rid of it, 2nd and 10. Pacheco, the running back, on the 2nd and 10 play. Mahomes to throw. Mahomes, that's a lateral. That's a live ball. And the Chiefs have to fall on it. That was clearly a lateral. And Mahomes falls on it back at the 7-yard line. That's a 15-yard loss. A timeout is called. Mahomes released it from the 14.5-yard line. Oh, yeah, that's way back at the 13-yard line. Throw was behind Pacheco. Mahomes actually put the hit on the Giants defender. See who that was that almost recovered that for the Giants. That was Bobby Okereke that almost had the recovery for the Giants, and that was going to be 6 points. But Mahomes put the hit on Okereke that jarred the ball loose, and Mahomes was able to fall on it. But the Chiefs have a 3rd and 25 back at the 7. That timeout was called on defense by the Giants, which you can understand why. Because they're going to want to try to get this football back. As the Chiefs are going to have 3rd and 25 from the 7-yard line. Chiefs have to get to the 32-yard line for a first down. Mahomes, he's just going to run a little draw play to Pacheco. I beg your pardon, that's not Pacheco. That's Kareem Hunt. Still only a gain of 7, and the Chiefs are going to have to punt from deep in their own territory. The Giants will use their final timeout on defense. with 1:19 to play in the first half. So a drive that went absolutely south for the Chiefs. And the Giants should get very, very good field position out of this. They've actually put 2 seconds back on the clock, so 1:21 on the game clock. Ariza on to punt for the Chiefs. He's standing right in the front of his end zone. Here's the snap. Ariza gets the punt off. And that's fielded at the 42-yard line and ran out of bounds, and a big hit. A flag is down. Olszewski returned the punt for 2 yards and got absolutely decked on the far sideline. And we'll see what this flag is. It's another 15-yard penalty on the Chiefs. It's kick-catch interference. I didn't see a fair catch signaled. Oh, it wasn't that. It was... Okay, the defender for the Chiefs hit Olszewski before he had a chance to field the ball. That's what it was Joshua Williams that was guilty on that penalty for the Chiefs. So that 15-yard penalty will move the football to about the 41 of the Chiefs. Just undisciplined play from the Chiefs in the first half. Just not something you normally see or have seen the last few years from this team. First down at the 41 of the Chiefs for the Giants. They are out of timeouts. Wilson throwing downfield. Nobody there. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. Clock stopped at 1:06. If the Giants do not gain a yard, they will have a chance to kick a 59-yard field goal. So they probably want to get themselves a little bit more yardage. 2nd and 10 from the 41. Wilson looking left side, flag down, pass incomplete. Intended receiver was Slayton, and we'll see what this flag is. A face mask on the Chiefs. Another 15-yard penalty on Kansas City. Guilty party this time was Noel Williams grabbing the face mask. So that moves the football to the 26 of the Chiefs with 1:02 to play in the second quarter. Wilson, this is a handoff on first down and up to the 23-yard line. 2nd down, and now it looks like the Chiefs are going to use a timeout on defense. Singletary got that carry. So the Chiefs have 2 timeouts remaining. So just some undisciplined play from the Chiefs here in the first half, as they have been penalized now 6 times for 65 yards in this first half. 3 15-yard penalties. And the Giants with an excellent chance to grab the lead right before halftime. 2nd and 6. Football sits at the 23. Just inside the 23. Wilson takes the snap. Wilson dropping back. Wilson throwing to the end zone, and that is intercepted. The second interception thrown by Russell Wilson in the first half. Interception by Jalen Watson. And that stalls out an excellent scoring opportunity for the Giants right before the half. Wilson's first interception was a ball that was thrown into double coverage. Watson with great coverage this time to pick this one off. It was intended for Malik Neighbors in the corner of the end zone. But Russell Wilson's second interception of the first half stalls this drive out, and the Chiefs will take over at the 20. They do still have 2 timeouts. Mahomes, that pass batted down, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Travis Kelce. It'll be 2nd down with 46 seconds. We do have a Giants player down on the field. It's like Brian Burns. Player shaken up for the Giants. Burns actually the one that batted that ball down. Oh, looks like he may have came down wrong on the turf after knocking that ball down. So the Giants already had the injury to their running back Tracy in the first half, and now Brian Burns, the 8th-year linebacker, is shaken up for the Giants. And Burns is up. Giants already -1 linebacker, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles. He was inactive tonight with a calf injury. And also their safety, Anthony Johnson Jr., is on the PUP list. Also, defensive tackle Raheem Nunez-Roche was inactive with a foot injury. So the Giants already with some injuries piling up on the defensive side. 2nd down and 10 following the play. Pass complete to Kelce, gets right to the 30-yard line for a Chiefs first down, and it looks like they're going to use their second timeout. And they do with 36 seconds. The Chiefs down to 1 timeout. Trying to get a score here right before the half. And again, the Chiefs will receive the football to start the second half as well. Burns trying to walk off his injury there on the Giants sideline. So Russell Wilson, 2 first-half interceptions for the Giants, or else they would probably be leading this game right now. In a game that has featured 2 Chiefs field goals and a Giants touchdown, but the extra point was blocked, so that's why we sit 6-6. They have put 4 seconds back on the clock as well, so 40 seconds showing on the clock. Boy, this first half was just flying by, and these last 5 minutes seem to have gone by at a snail's pace. And actually, they put the clock at 43 seconds. It's 3rd down and 1 for Kansas City. They actually marked Kelsey a yard short of the first down. At the 39-yard line. And we've still got a little bit of a delay here. Might be something to do with a late substitution. Well, it looks like we're set to go now. 3rd and 1 from the 29, rather. And here's the handoff. This is a first down carry up to the 33-yard line, gain of 4. Carry for Isaiah Pacheco, and the Chiefs will use their final timeout of the first half. So both teams now out of timeouts. And Burns is back in the game after that injury on the previous play. So with 40 seconds to go here in the second quarter, the Chiefs have a new set of downs at the 33-yard line, trying to at least get into field goal range and take the lead here before halftime. In a game that is tied up at 6. First down, Kansas City. Mahomes rolling right. Mahomes just gets rid of it, incomplete. Got rid of it right before he was taken down. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. Clock stopped with 33 seconds. And guess who that was applying the pressure to Mahomes? It was Burns. 2nd and 10 from the 30, just inside the 33-yard line. Mahomes looking deep down the field, has a man knocked down at the last possible minute, incomplete. Ooh, Mahomes had his receiver down there, Tyquan Thornton, but at the last possible moment, the defender, Paulson Adebo, knocked it down at the last possible moment for the Giants. Great defensive play. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Chiefs need to get to the 42 for a first. Mahomes over the middle, wide open and dropped, incomplete. There is a flag. It was a little bit behind Juju Smith-Schuster, but that's a catch we've seen him make in the past. We'll see what the flag is. It's going to be illegal contact on the Giants. That's going to give the Chiefs a free first down. Drew Phillips, the guilty party of the illegal contact. So the drive stays alive for the Chiefs after the 5-yard penalty. First down at the 37. Mahomes in trouble. Mahomes rolling right, gets out of the sack. Mahomes still on his feet and airs it out down the field. And it is going to be incomplete. And a flag comes in. It's going to be Drew Phillips with an interference penalty. And the Chiefs are going to have this football in the red zone. And abs 2 killer penalties on the last 2 plays for Drew Phillips. Clock is stopped with 7 seconds. Wow, this penalty is... Gosh, how long? This pass interference penalty is going to be... It's going to be a 52-yard penalty on the pass interference. First down at the 11-yard line for the Chiefs. Mahomes has to hurry and gets rid of it, incomplete with 4 seconds. And now you're going to have to bring on Butker for a field goal. So the Chiefs may very well be gifted 3 points here right before the halftime break. And again, the Chiefs get the football to start the second half. Butker's hit from 54 and 48. He missed from 40. This will be a chip shot here. This will be 29 yards. To give the Chiefs the lead going to the locker room. 28 yards officially. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Chiefs grab a 3-point lead heading to the locker room at 9-6. A killer pass interference penalty at the end of the first half for the Giants. Give the Chiefs 3 points, and the Chiefs will get the football to start the second half with a 9-6 lead. Again, there's going to be a brief pause on the live stream. I'll be back with you here in about 10 minutes just prior to the second half. Get you ready for the second half, run down some first half stats. Be back with you.